Can YouTube actually pay the bills? I have another monetized channel and I'm going to show you my analytics and how much I've made. Now, in order to get monetized on YouTube for long form, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within a 12-month time frame. Now, this can feel like, whoa, 1,000 subscribers, that's a lot. And I completely understand, because even though, to be honest, I monetized this other channel that I have, it's still taking me a long time to try and monetize this channel that you're watching currently, full disclosure. And that's the thing about YouTube. Some parts are easy, some parts are hard. Now, I would say that, when you look at YouTubers who are making a full-time income of YouTube, yes, they have some money coming through from AdSense, but they also look at having sponsorships, right, from other companies. They say, okay, I really like your content. If you talk about our service or product, I will pay you this amount. So sponsorships work well for full-time YouTubers, and full-time YouTubers often also sell a course or they sell a product, etc. Because you will see, and I will show you, how AdSense money fluctuates and how, as small YouTubers, when you're starting off, your AdSense may not be as much as you think. I think a lot of the times people think that once they are monetized, that's it, they are going to be earning so much. And yes, some YouTubers do earn a great deal of money, but I think the far majority of small YouTubers don't actually make as much as you think. Now, if you have started your YouTube journey, how is your YouTube channel going? Are you actually having, intentional consistency? And I say this because I was being consistent, but I don't think I was having intentional consistency, whereby I really scrutinize my videos and look at what I think can actually improve. How can I improve? So if you have started your YouTube journey, are you implementing intentional consistency? And if you haven't started a YouTube channel yet, what are you waiting for? What's stopping you? Are you scared? I know that feeling, I was too, but get going. So with YouTube monetization, right? Yes, YouTube Shorts, you can make some money from that. And I'm going to also show you how on that channel, I did make money from YouTube Shorts. But on this channel, I'm not using YouTube Shorts at the moment because I actually prefer creating long form content. Let me know in the comments below, what niche are you in? And are you enjoying creating content so far? Because the thing about YouTube is it is such a long journey that you might as well have fun creating content. Otherwise, you will suffer from burnout. And I also say this from experience. Now let's dive straight into my analytics. It took me just over a year to actually monetize this channel that I'm showing you. And I have made a whopping $47.27, right, through AdSense. Now, you may not think that this is a huge amount, but for me, just seeing that this is possible was just amazing, and still is amazing to me, okay? And if I was more consistent on this particular channel that I'm showing you, then yes, the AdSense would be higher. And your AdSense also depends on where your audience is actually watching from. So if your audience is watching from places like America and the UK rather than India, for example, your AdSense should be higher, okay? Because advertisers pay more to advertise in places like America and UK, etc. And also depends on your niche. If your niche is in finance, then you probably will get more money via AdSense than if your channel was a cooking channel. And now this is the total amount. And then watch page ads, okay, is $16.79. So these are ads that are placed on long form videos, right? The money from those ads, right? So we get a percentage of that money. So short feeds ads means that the money that was actually gained from ads that were placed on YouTube Shorts. So that was $30.48. Supers and gifts, nothing. This amount, $47.27, you'll see how it can fluctuate. $2.39, and then as little as 0.12 cents. Okay, so you can really see how it fluctuates. And I'm going to show you, like, month per month, how much I was making on this channel. And that is why I say that with YouTube AdSense, like, you can't rely solely on YouTube AdSense because it can fluctuate. And to safeguard yourself, you'd have to diversify. Now, I say this also because I know that if I want to stay in the YouTube game for a long, long time, I have to diversify. I cannot rely solely on AdSense. Now, you'll see in October, I made $27.80. And October was my best month so far because I was really consistent in October. And then you have months where I made 90 cents, right? So it really, really does fluctuate depending on how consistent you are, how often you're posting, and also it depends on your CPMs. And it says here, playback-based CPM, how much advertisers pay every 1,000 times your watch page content is viewed with ads. So you think that, okay, if your videos are just, say, for example, all in the same niche, it doesn't mean to say that every single video is going to have the same CPM. It also changes. I think that sometimes we just think that once you monetize, that's it. That's like the end goal. Yes, it's a wonderful goal to have. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely. It's fantastic to have this goal. But I think that we don't really understand that starting off as a small YouTuber, this may not necessarily be thousands of dollars every month. I mean, this is my total amount, right? After being monetized for close to a year now. So it took me over a year to get monetized, and this is my amount almost a year in. And yes, I know that this amount can be much higher because I haven't been so consistent. I completely understand that. But what I'm saying is that when I started to see that, the amounts are actually pretty low, I realized that depending on AdSense alone is quite dangerous if you want to sustain yourself as a full-time YouTuber, because it's not stable. Some months you'll do well, some months it won't perform well at all, and chasing numbers with AdSense, it can be a slippery slope. It really, really can be. Now, I know that you have some questions for me, so I am going to answer your questions. But before I do that, I want to tell you something. I actually feel like I could have done this video better, and I feel a bit crappy about it, to be honest. And that's the thing. Sometimes you create videos and you think, oh, you know what? This didn't go the way I wanted to. And you can be really, really hard on yourself. You can, be critical, like really, really critical. And it actually stops us from creating more content. So I'll say this to myself, and I say this to you too. Every video that you create does not need to be a perfect video. You are trying. And as long as you think about, okay, how can I improve the next video? Don't be so hard on yourself. As long as you're trying to create some value for your audience, what are you helping them with? What can you actually share that will make their journey easier? Think about what value you are providing. And sometimes the best laid plans, don't actually happen the way you had hoped. And that's okay, because there will be other videos. And I think why we often feel like quitting with YouTube, and I have felt like this, is when we don't see the results we want. And it can feel terrible. Even though I always say, we shouldn't be defined by numbers with our YouTube channels, like our views, our subscribers, etc. at the end of the day, we are also human. And when we are putting ourselves out here on this platform, it's really vulnerable. It really is vulnerable. You get ready for the video, you prepare for the video, and you hope it resonates with people, and you put it out into the world. And sometimes it can feel very disappointing. So I don't want you to see other YouTubers here who have monetized channels and think that there's something so fundamentally wrong with you or your channel, etc. Because at the end of the day, we are all here on this platform trying to learn how to actually improve our channels, trying to connect with other people, trying to build an audience. And yes, parts of YouTube, can be easy, but there are other parts which are very difficult. And my first thing that I will answer is, what do I think helps with your content creation process here on YouTube? And I will say to you, it is mindset. My word, mindset. If you think you can, you probably will. If you think you can't, you probably won't. And it's easy to be excited about your YouTube channel when you first start. Absolutely. I get that. It's easy. You have this passion and you're fueled and you're ready to go. And then you start posting content. And then hardly anybody watches and you just feel so sad. You feel so sad because you look at the analytics and it's like, why is nobody watching my content? Firstly, when you first start, it's often because, people have to find your content, discover your content. You also have to get better at creating content. And I say this for myself as well, And so many videos are uploaded on a daily basis onto this YouTube platform. But if you have a message that you want to share with the world, if you have knowledge that you want to share, don't let the lack of views, stop you from sharing your message. And I'm not saying go and share your whole life history, things that are absolutely personal to you. No, don't do that. Don't overshare, protect yourself as well. But what I am saying is, we live in an age where sharing information, sharing knowledge is easier than ever. And if you're able to tap into that, why not? I'm a 42-year-old YouTuber. YouTube didn't exist when I was growing up, so I do not take it for granted. Even though I get so frustrated with YouTube, I am also grateful that we are able to share who we are as people, to connect with other people, that you in YouTube exists. When you talk on camera, I'm using my phone. I've always used my phone. People are scared to be on camera, and I get that too, because I've been scared. Even now, when I create videos, I'm still nervous because I'm human and so are you. I'd say to you to decrease that fear. Think about that you're speaking to one person. When we think that we're only speaking to one person, a friend, a conversation, it gets easier in our minds, in our hearts. I don't know, that's cheesy, but it's true. Sometimes we just have to breathe. We have to breathe, put things out into the universe, see what unfolds. We don't know every step of the way. We actually don't. But that's also the beauty of life. That's also the beauty of content creation, is that you don't really know every single step. And YouTube is not always fun. It isn't. Some days you'll feel like, I don't want to do this. I don't see where this is heading. And, if you start your YouTube journey and you quit and you find out it's not for you, that's also okay. But maybe you can also take breaks from it, so that there's not that pressure, like, okay, I'm starting this YouTube journey and that's it. And, it's just so much pressure. I have to create content. Take breaks. Your journey is yours alone. It doesn't have to look exactly like another YouTuber's, you know? So let me know where you're watching from, what is your channel about, and if you feel like you don't like the way that you look and it's just hard to create content because you don't feel confident, I created a video about that. Go and watch that next. And also, if you want to create content, but you don't even know what you need to have before you actually sit down and create a video, I have a checklist. So comment below with the word list and I'll send you that checklist. And have a fantastic week. My YouTube channel is all about YouTube, my successes and failures, what I'm learning about YouTube. And if that interests you, do subscribe. Keep well.